Bismillah, alhamdulillah, wa salatu wa salam ala rasulillah. Mu'adh ibn Jabal is truly an amazing companion. This is a man who the Prophet ﷺ described as the most knowledgeable in halal and haram. Imagine that. In the eyes of the Prophet ﷺ, this man had reached that status. Did you know he died at the age of 33? 33. Did you also know that Mu'adh ibn Jabal, in his younger days, wasn't the most wise individual? In fact, it's a common story that we know. Once Mu'adh ibn Jabal led Isha prayer. And man, this kid, he went with the qira'ah. He recited a lot. The man recited Surah Al-Baqarah in Salat Al-Isha. And one of the companions praying behind him said, man, what is this? And so the one being led left the salah and continued salah on his own. And so after salah is done, Mu'adh is looking, why is there an empty space over there? They said, yeah, this man in the middle of salah left you and he just continued salah on his own and he left. And Mu'adh said, man, that's a munafiq. That's a hypocrite. Criticized him. But that other man who left salah, he went to the Prophet and said, Ya Rasulullah, man, Mu'adh is leading us in Isha prayer every day. And he takes too long. And so the Prophet called Mu'adh. And he said, Mu'adh, I received this complaint. Is it true? He said, Ya Rasulullah, that man is a hypocrite. He can't stay and pray all that time. We're doing this for the sake of Allah. And the Prophet ﷺ said, Afattanun ya Mu'adh, Afattanun ya Mu'adh, Afattanun ya Mu'adh. Inna minkum munaffirun. O Mu'adh, you're causing problems. You're exaggerating salah. You're exaggerating how long salah is meant to be. That's causing problems. And such behaviors causes people to go away from the religion. Tanfir. You dissuade people from being attracted to the religion. And that's a big problem. And then the Prophet ﷺ teaches Mu'adh and says, O Mu'adh, people behind you, some of them are old, some of them are ill, and some of them have affairs to attend. So whoever leads salah, then they should do it in a way that is convenient, that is relevant to the people praying behind him. That's the way it should be done. The Prophet ﷺ is teaching us a very important lesson, and that is create ease. Create ease for the people around you. Would you go to Isha prayer if you know Isha prayer is going to be an hour long? Well, of course not. I'm not going to go. But when I know Isha prayer is 10 minutes, you know what? I should be going because it's not that inconvenient. I maybe have to go out of my way after a long days of work, but the reward is worth it. 10 minutes is good. Imagine if the khutbah was an hour long. Could you bear that? Absolutely not. That's too much. Our religion teaches us to create ease for the people around us. And this is precisely the advice the Prophet ﷺ gave to Ali radiallahu ta'ala and Mu'adh ibn Jabal when he sent them to Yemen to start giving da'wah, to start calling people to Islam. He told them, alayhi salatu wasalam, يَسِّرَا وَلَا تُعَسِّرَا بَشِّرَا وَلَا تُنَفِّرَا. Make things easy and don't be difficult. Don't bring difficulty to the lives of the people you're talking to. And give glad tidings and don't deter people from what you're calling to. And one of the ways he taught them to do that, when you get zakah, when you take zakah, don't take zakah from the most valuable possessions of people. That deters them. Take it from what's moderate, what we'd say in the middle value. Create ease. Ask yourself the question, dear brother and sister. In your presence, when you're home, when you're around your family members, do you bring them ease? Or do you bring them difficulty? Do they like to be around you? And do they like when you're around? And don't assume you know the answer. Ask the question. Ask your spouse. Ask your children. Would you rather me be around? Or would you rather me not be around? And a lot of the youth, they can't wait till their parents go somewhere. They can't wait till their parent says, I have a business trip, I'm going to be away for 3 days. They can't wait for it. Because when they're gone, man, things are easy. Things are simple. But when they're around, we can't talk. We can't be ourselves. Anything we do, we're criticized. man, that's tanfir. That is deterring them from that relationship. Bring ease to them. That is a prophetic thing. And when you create ease, you create opportunity. Why does everybody in the world want to come to America? Why? Because there's ease of opportunity. There's ease of making money. Anyone can become anything. It's about how hard you work. But the doors are open. And that's the way the country is built. It's built around an economy that's easily accessible. Are you easily accessible to your family members? Do they like you to be around? Or can they not wait until you leave and they don't see you? Or are they isolated in a private quarter where it's kind of their own space and they don't want anyone else to interfere? What is the situation? Create ease and you'll create healthy relationships. Well, how can we create ease? Well, first of all, understanding what really matters. What are the things that matter? What are the things that are truly important? One of the challenges of being a parent is when the grandparents come around. The parents have a routine that they're trying to apply on their children, when to sleep, when to wake up, what to eat. Grandparents come and their number one goal, how can I spoil my grandchild? So the grandparents are there and they completely disrupt the routine of the parents. And that sometimes creates tension between the grandparents and their children. Don't give them that. Don't tell them that. You're spoiling them. You're ruining our hard work. And it creates problems. Well, sit back and ask yourself the question. If my child eats an extra candy bar every now and then, is that really the end of the world? It's not. If my child stays awake 30 extra minutes, is that the end of the world? Absolutely not. If my child plays around and creates a little bit of a ruckus at home and makes a little bit of a mess, is it the end of the world? Absolutely not. A lot of times we're so rigid in the structure of life that we want to live in our routine that anything that slightly disrupts it becomes a source of anxiety. And by the way, modern research, contemporary research is looking into this. Why are people so anxious? Because we're so used to this extremely structured lifestyle that if I'm going to work and there's an accident on the way, oh my God, it's the end of the world. I'm going to be 15 minutes late to work. Or every time we go somewhere, we have to put the GPS on, even though we know how to get there. Why? Because I need to be sure. I need to be sure that, the road is clear. Life shouldn't be that rigid. So understand what's really important versus what's not important, so that when you come across things that really don't matter too much, they're not the end all be all, they're not going to make or break a person or the family, you can let it go. You can be easy, you can turn the blind eye. But when things do really matter, that's when you say, okay, look, this is a red line. We got to be careful here, and this is why it's very important in expressing that to them. Another thing that we can do to build that ease is to, the sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ is that whenever he had two choices, he ﷺ always chose the easier of the two. He chose the easier of the two. That is a prophetic thing. I have option A, option B. Which one do I choose? The easier of the two. See, that's a mindset, by the way. It's a mindset. How many people spend so much time to try and find the absolute best deal that will save them $3? How many people will go out of their way to go to a gas station because it's a few cents cheaper and they'll save a total of $3? I mean, is $3 really worth all of that inconvenience? And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given you a source of ease. And that is enough finances to pay an extra $3 for gas. Personally, these toll roads can be quite expensive. But you know what? I noticed something in my own personal life. When I intentionally don't take the toll road and I take the longer way around because I don't want to pay those $4 using those toll roads, I always regret it. I always regret it. And then it comes to my mind that, oh Tariq, do you think your Lord is stingy with you? That you're sitting there calculating $3, $4, you're worried about $3, $4? But your Lord is the one who's providing you. And He provides you money to make your life easier so that you can do more important things. See how things work? The Prophet ﷺ always chose the easier choice. That's a mindset. That's a lifestyle. And that communicates a type of ease to the people around you. And that also builds trust with them. And then finally, set goals instead of expectations. This is very important. Please pay attention to this, by the way. Please pay attention to this. Set goals, not expectations. Your child, you want them to succeed. You want your child to succeed, right? That's the case. What happens a lot of times, the parent says, I expect you to get A's, right? Having A's, getting A's is something we want our children to do. But when you say, I expect you to get A's, essentially the mindset becomes, if you don't get an A, there are consequences. Compare that to the following language. Oh, my child, let's set a goal for you to get A's. When that's the mindset, what you're communicating to the child is, we're going to work hard till you get A's. And then I'm going to be there to help you reach that goal. A goal is something that you're not there yet, and you work towards it. That's a much healthier mindset than saying, I expect you to be there. And if you're not there, there are consequences for that. Setting goals creates ease. Setting expectation creates rigidness, and it creates that tanfir that the Prophet ﷺ told Mu'adh, told Ali radiallahu ta'ala anhuma not to do. It creates that deterrent. I don't want to do this. I hate school. School is a cause of depression for me. School is a cause of anxiety for me because I have all these expectations. We want our kids to get A's. We want our kids to succeed. It's just shifting the language to communicate to them, this is your goal, I'm here to help. And we're going to make that easy. Versus this is the expectation. If you don't get there, there are problems. One creates ease, the other creates a deterrent. And the Prophet ﷺ always brought ease to himself and to the people around him, especially his family. So share with us, what are some ways you bring ease to your family? And what are some ways difficulty are brought to your family by other family members? Share your ideas, share your experiences so that we can all learn. And please share the video and give it a like. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Assalamu alaikum everybody. Thank you for watching. If you're finding benefit in these videos, remember that every day throughout the month of Ramadan, we'll be releasing a new video. Our goal is to build a stronger family, especially in our times today when the family unit is really dissolving. It's so important for us as Muslims and to serve as a role model for all of humanity. Share these videos, like, drop a comment, and we'll see you at the next video. Bismillah.